Hello and welcome to everyone watching on YouTube. My name is Shurjo and I shall be doing a quick speaking review, I guess, about this Fender Player Series Stratocaster. It's in Tide Pool color variant and I happen to like it. For anyone who's been subscribed to the videos, they've seen this guitar on several occasions. That's because I've been owning it for more than a year now. And I have done like a small demo of it beforehand, but I'm more used to the features now, and I think I could probably use some of my words as well to probably explain what I like and what I might want improved in the guitar. So features real quick. Made in Mexico is what's called the Made in Mexico is what's being called the Player Series now. So this is the Made in Mexico guitar. It's MX19, so it's a 2019 model. It has a humbucker on the bridge. That's the difference. These are all Fender pickups. Fender are designing it themselves. So it has the traditional 2 single coils and 1 humbucker on the bridge. It has the traditional 5-way switch and the traditional single volume and 2 tone pots. Except that in normal Made in Mexico Stratocasters, the normal Stratocasters, the second tone pot corresponds to the mid pickup, but here the tone pot corresponds to the bridge pickup. So as you can hear, there's a difference. That's the tone. So I'll really quickly go through what the chain is here. It's the Fender Strat going into my Line 6 M9 going into a Boss Katana 100. That's the chain, and this is just the sound of the Boss Katana. So what we're going to do is we're going to have this overall sound more or less. I might add some delays and distortions from the Line 6 just for a little bit, or stretching the boundaries of what the tone could be and what the guitar could do, but I'll stick to what I know best, which is a sort of clean rock blues-ish sound, and start on the neck pickup. So this is very typically Fender sort of sound on the neck pickup. It's a lot of that, a lot of stuff that we're absolutely from the sound of Fender that we're familiar with. And even if we go from the first position, neck position, to the neck plus middle, more of the same. As you can hear, like that really pristine, clean Fender tone that, I mean, I don't know how many countless songs and records it's been on, and something that I really like, really like. So I'm glad to have it. I have another Mexican Strat and that has it too. It's just glad to have that continuity. Of course, you go for that with your purchases. If you add some distortion when you're on the neck pickup, without, I messed that last one up, sorry. And some more perhaps. whilst there's noise, it maintains sufficient clarity. You expect the noise to be there with a single coil. Moving on to the mid pickup, it's got a little bit more bite and twang than I normally expect, but I don't know whether that has something to do with that there's no tone pot associated with it. Really couldn't say. Actually, I think this tone pot actually controls both the neck and the middle. I'm not mistaken. I'm not mistaken. It has a little bit more bite. I just like that. Now I must, by the way, you hear this noise? This is one of the things that I would like improved on, is the quality of the switches and stuff. I have never really figured out how to use the mid pickup that much, I'll be honest. But I do like it from time to time, maybe like in a session where you're using multiple pickup positions. It does help. Moving on to the middle plus bridge. Both tones are at full. As you can see, it's very responsive to the volume control, very responsive. So you can hear that it's very, very responsive to the tone controls, to the volume controls, and I mean, I really like that because it gives you way too many, not in the sense of that it's too many that you don't need, but it's nice to have that many options when you're trying to do a session for someone. And that's what I'm mostly using the guitar for, honestly, is doing sessions and recording work. So I really like that it gives a lot of options, and that sometimes it steps out of what is the traditional Fender tone, that you can get something a little different out of it. So I really like that. I'm back to the sound of the amp, the sound of the Katana, and now we go on to the bridge pickup, because I'm really happy with what they've done with the bridge pickup. It's a humbucker, like I said. So you compare with the next sound. So this is something that you would expect from a typical Fender, but with the same tone, nothing added onto it, and it just has way more bite that the humbucker offers, and I really like that. But sometimes the tone can get really squawky and squeaky from a Fender bridge pickup, and they have a tone control on that, so you can control that. I like that as well. Some distortion. As you can hear, like, the harmonics are jumping out quite easily. I'm not really the best person to get harmonics out of situations, but as you can hear, it's got a little something to it. that sound again. Now the next thing that this thing it has is an original Floyd Rose tremolo system. So here I would have to say a little something is in that it does maintain its tuning well, but I did have to put a little bit of tape on it on the inside so that it stays put. It normally doesn't stay put. Right now I've made it to where it stays put. And now you can hear that it's ridiculously out of tune. So I took the half a minute to sort of tweak it from here, and as you can see, that part of it works really well. What doesn't work as well, and it took me a long time again to get it, and I was sort of disappointed when I first bought the guitar, where I felt that the tremolo system, I mean, you know, it was nice to have a Floyd Rose. I don't own any guitars with a Floyd Rose tremolo system, and it was nice to have it, but then it wasn't smooth, it didn't stay in place. But then I read online that if you put a tape, I don't know if you can see it here, I don't know if the camera is picking up on that. Here on the inside I've put some adhesive tape, and that sort of makes it sit a little bit better in the groove, and that helps it run a little bit better. It has been smoother since it's easier to handle. Yeah, if you go crazy on it like I just did, it'll probably go out of tune, but more or less for so it does go out of tune slightly, but it's not severely out of tune. So it's helpful, it's really helpful in that regard, because you can do some of the, like, you know, you can manipulate tone in a way that you normally can't with the way a Floyd Rose works. You can take the, you know, you can do all the Joe Satriani stuff basically. Eddie Van Halen, Dimebag Darrell, like the whole list, Steve Vai, all of that. You can manipulate the sound that way. So that's good, but it's not, while it's not perfect, it's pretty good if you are able to set it up and you can get some good tone out of it. So it's slightly out of tune now, but I mean that can be easily fixed, and if you don't go crazy, it normally does stay. That would be one of the small complaints I have, is not the going out of tune and stuff, because I'm not really a heavy dive bomber with the tremolo arm, but the fact that it required a little bit of setup, and me with my lack of intuition and lack of brain power, it took me a long time to just Google and see what the problem was. I have a tendency to just stoically carry on with whatever issue there is. It's not the best idea at most times. I'm trying to change that. Another thing which I want to say is that when I got the guitar 2019, and I've seen the prices now, and I bought this from a website called bajao.com, and for people who are watching this outside India, the difference in price in that time period to now has been quite significant. It's around a 20,000 rupee price increase, which works out to around $240 price difference in a year and a half, 2 years time, which to me, I mean, if I were to look at this same guitar on the website right now at the current price that it has, I'll be honest, I won't get it. I really wouldn't get it. Not because the guitar is not worth it or something, but there would be a perception against that sort of price. You just be like, why exactly? And I was far more confident getting the guitar at the price that I did get it at. I felt like that was a fair price for what I was going to get, and it has turned out so. This is a really solid, workman-like functioning guitar, but I wouldn't think that you're going to break your bank or even like go into a certain, certain upper mid range to try and get it. I wouldn't think so, but maybe that's because I've got it at a sort of mid-range price. So that's that. Overall, I think it's a really good guitar, honestly, and I use it a lot. It responds really well with the tone knobs, the pickup positions, the whammy is fine, the tuning is fine. Yeah, so that concludes my review for the Fender Player Series Stratocaster with a humbucker in the bridge position. If you like this video, and I really hope you do, I hope it's useful for you, then perhaps you can consider subscribing to my channel and listening to my latest album. It's out across all streaming platforms. It's called Yeah Sure Why Not. I shall leave a link in the video description. That would make me really happy if you went and checked the album out. I think it's pretty good, and I look forward to making more videos and more music, and for you all to hear all of it. Until next time, take care.